What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com. Thank you for coming back, and I assume that means that you're a subscriber, and I love you for that. And if you're not a subscriber, click subscribe, because my love is very conditional. This is a review of Dracula Untold, which is currently available on Netflix, although I have to tell you something. This is called a banked review. This is a review that I'm doing where I watch more than one movie in a day, and I'm banking this to use at a later date when I don't have time to watch a movie because life. I do not know when I'm going to be dropping this review. So the caveat is, it may not be on Netflix. I don't know. But yes, I'm banking this review. I don't want to talk about it later on and be like, oh, what was that movie that I watched a month ago that I didn't review? Let me talk about the movie now. I don't want to do that. I want to talk about it when it's fresh and when it's in my mind. So I'm doing that. But I'm going to sit on it. And I'm going to be honest about it too. And not try to be like another one of those channels that just sits on content and pretends. This is not make-believe. I'm telling you, this is a banked review. I don't know when you will see this. But yes. Currently on Netflix with audio description done by Adrian Barbeau, and the team at Media Access Group. So, I've never seen this. This is a fresh review. I'm not exploring this film for the umpteenth time. This is not part of my 40 for 40. This is just me watching Dracula Untold for the first time. It was an hour and a half. I had an hour and a half. I knocked it out. It's, yeah. You know what's really funny is I did not know what the rating was until later on when I was looking at the cast, because I was like, who's playing Vlad? So I pulled up IMDb, because all I remember was that Dominic Cooper was in this, but I was like, that doesn't sound like Dominic Cooper to me. And then I found out Dominic Cooper was playing the other guy, and I was like, oh, Luke Evans is in this. But then I also noticed, I was like, it's PG-13. Fuck you, no, it's not. I was like, is this the unrated cut? Like, there's gotta be an unrated cut. And that's kind of what's funny about the audio description, is that it actually, the film is so violent and so pervasively so that the audio description focuses on all these battle sequences and Vlad killing all these people, and blood and him slicing and stabbing, and I mean, he cuts both arms off of one guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, it seems all pretty violent to me, and it deals with monsters, that it shows his monster face, and there's there's other vampires with their monster faces and everything, and I know that we've had PG-13 monster faces and stuff like The Mummy, so I shouldn't immediately jump to conclusions, but damn, there's a lot of fighting in this, and a lot of bloody violence, or stuff that sounded bloody. I guess there's no blood. I don't know, but there are direct references to blood. I don't know how this got away with PG-13. I'm really intrigued now, because, like, I know that there are ways to shoot things and cut away so that a film doesn't look as violent as it is. But it's funny listening to the audio description. I was like, this is an R-rated film. This is, damn, some shit is going down. This is, wow. People are dying. I was just like, the whole film, I was like, damn, can't believe, oh, wow, this is a lot. I didn't realize this was going to be, and then I look at it and I'm like, PG-13, what the, what? So, I don't know if that's a testament to Adrian's narration and how good it is, because it made it seem way more intense than I guess the film actually is. But I was like all up in this. So I don't know if that's like a parental warning if you have blind children. I don't know that it matters. I don't really know. How do we think about this? Like, I've never talked to the parent of a blind kid who can't see the film but is listening only to audio description. Like, what is it that you're looking out for? Because one of the things for me as as a critic and everything is I've been able to review far more horror films, because to me there's something about these things being described to me that makes it a lot less turn-offish. I'm not a gore person. I don't like gore for the sake of gore. I don't. It's not that I don't appreciate scary movies. There are plenty of scary movies that I saw ahead of time, and they had a little bit of gore in it. But I'm not somebody who just goes to see a film where gore is supposed to be the scary thing. I need there to be a plot. So like, I enjoyed It Follows. You know what I'm saying? And does It Follows have violence in it? Sure, of course it does. But it's just genuinely creepy. It's well shot and it's creepy and the story is being told. So, but something like Evil Dead Rise, no, fuck no, I wouldn't watch that in theaters. So, no. So, that's kind of where I'm at. So this felt, I don't know why I didn't watch this in theaters. I think it's just because it didn't get good reviews. It doesn't have a great score on IMDb. It doesn't have a great Metacritic score. It's not terrible. I've seen way lower. This is just kind of like, eh. It feels like the equivalent of meh, coming from both of those groups. But I just didn't bother to see it. I don't know, it doesn't have a star that would draw me in. I don't go to see things because of either Luke Evans or Dominic Cooper. So that didn't bring me in. There was probably enough other things in theaters at the time, and I just didn't feel like reviewing it. So it just passed me by. But it's funny listening to the audio description now, and I think about, like, what do parents of blind children, like, where do we draw the line? How do the ratings affect what you let them listen to? You know, because is violence even a thing? Because there's something about listening to the violence where there's a difference between hearing that somebody loses 2 arms and actually seeing somebody lose 2 arms, you know? It's kind of the differential between, if you read a lot of the young adult fiction, a lot of the stuff that's in young adult fiction can be quite violent. Hunger Games has some stuff in it. I don't know if you know that. If you know that, I don't know if you've been a parent and you've read Hunger Games. I don't know if that's really for kids. So there are some things in there where you're like, I don't know. I don't know. But the movie, again, it's PG-13, so it's like make your own choice. You know, choose for yourself. Choose wisely. So, I don't know where parents are at, but I would say that, yeah, the audio description felt like R-rated audio description, but then again, it's PG-13, so go for that. But good job from Adrienne for being able to actually give me this lush and rich combat sequences, because there's so many fight sequences. It's a short film, but most of this film is battle. This film is not really heavy on plot or character development. You're basically kind of expected to get the homage to homage. I used it wrong. I said it wrong. Homage. I hear when people in videos say the wrong word and then they don't acknowledge it. You know, they just go on with the thing. I heard somebody the other day say, like, Warren Brothers, and I was like, you're not going to go back and correct that? Warner, not Warren Brothers. Anyway, so it's they pay this homage to Vlad the Impaler, and it's supposedly this is the untold story, right? This is the creation of Dracula that was untold. It just hasn't been told yet. You don't know this story, and it's just kind of a bullshit story. It kind of paints him as a good guy, hero, who just is misunderstood. It does the misunderstood villain thing, where it's just like, you just don't understand me. I'm really a nice guy, and I'm doing this for my people. And that's really what he's doing here, is he knows where the darkness lives, where this creature lives, and he goes in, and he needs to be strong so he can defend his people, because Dominic Cooper's a bitch. Basically, I mean, that's a great way to describe it. I can just cut to the chase on that. Dominic Cooper's a bitch in this film. And Luke Evans has to be able to fight him, protect his people. But he can't do that just as like a regular human. He's a little outnumbered. So he gets the power. And I won't tell you how he gets that, but let's just say Charles Dance is in a cave. Charles Dance plays something that's in a cave, and he helps Luke Evans get powers that help him become Dracula. Leave that to your interpretation. And Luke Evans comes back, and bloodlust ensues, but he's also been given sort of like rules and directions as to what he can and can't do if he wants to return to his normal form, or if he's going to be permanently a vampire. So he sort of has this choice. He can either avoid drinking blood for 3 days and then supposedly be restored, and fight the hunger, which is supposed to be all-consuming. And then at the end of the 3 days, he'll it'll be like he'll be a temporary vampire, basically. But if he drinks, he'll stay forever a vampire. Guess which one happens. Remember, this is the untold story of Dracula, so I don't expect you to know the answer to this question, because this had not, nobody has told this story before. This was very under the radar, very hush hush, and it wasn't until Universal found what I'm assuming are the Dead Sea Scrolls for Vlad the Impaler that they found out this information, and they were like, "Oh, we have to let the public know in a mid-budget movie starring Luke Evans." So, this was supposed to be part of their Dark Universe sort of reboot of films, where they keep trying to bring back like this and the Mummy and Wolfman. You know, it's not really working out for them, but I think they gave up. I think their classic movie monsters are just... I think they gave up. This isn't terrible, but it's also not good. So it's just... It's like, if you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't want to watch it, you're not missing anything. I don't think this is going to go down in the history of being like, oh shit, this was great. It's better than Morbius. And Morbius has some of the similar themes about like going into a cave and... with bats and everything. Kind of feels like Morbius ripped this film off a little bit, but it's not great. I can't really totally endorse this, but I also don't really care enough to try to tell you not to see it, because it moves so quickly. Like I said, it's 90 minutes of your life. And it doesn't really feel like that time is wasted. Most of that is fight sequences. So if you're really in it for an action movie that sounds bloody, but I guess isn't, it's PG-13 blood, then by all means go for this. Audio description, like I said, I just, there's some more horror elements in like the faces. Anything that happens in the cave is sort of a little bit more intense than the rest of the film. So that stuff is described really well. I think Adrienne did a really good job with the film, and what the rest of our team at Media Access Group. I didn't have any problems with sound leveling, or sometimes it feels like that the audio description has to cause the actual audio track to the film to drop out just so you can hear it. And I didn't get any of that. I thought this was solid. So, very good job. Like I said, I don't know if this is still going to be on Netflix, but you can check it out or not check it out. Your life will not change either way. I'm going to give Dracula Untold a C. That's where that film lives. right in the middle. C is average, just right down the middle. There's no major complaints, but also I can't really say anything about it. There's nothing really to praise. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And you can also go to my website, MacTheMovieGuy.com. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. I'll let you know what is audio description, where you can watch it. And you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or Threads at MacTheMovieGuy. You can go to the audio description project and find other titles and where you can watch them, and the adna.org will let you know what else Adrian is doing, so or has done in the past. That's it. I will review something else for you guys and see you on the other side.